Protectors of the Grid Chapter 50. That night, the four of them sat around the dining table in the condo over the remains of Kung Pao chicken and sweet and sour mixed veggies. Their conversation was subdued, awed, and even shocked as they were by what they had witnessed. You know, Charlie, it's amazing to me that you could even create a miniature of the crystalline grid for testing. How did you figure that out? In simple terms, please. I'm a civilian. Tara could still feel the tingles all over her skin from the miracle she had witnessed. It took us a while to figure out how to siphon off some of the energy from the master grid to create a mini-grid, but then the holographic principle took over. A hologram is a physical structure that diffracts light into an image. The term hologram can refer to both the encoded material and the resulting image. A holographic image can be seen by looking into an illuminated holographic print or by shining a laser through a hologram and projecting the image onto a screen. There are those who believe the whole universe is a hologram projected by our collective consciousness. That's why when we create a shift in consciousness, we change our experience of reality. And Will interjected, it's important to realize that light and energy are the same thing, just different forms. Reality is malleable, which scientists discovered when they found light and energy shifting back and forth from wave to particle. Plus, they discovered the power of observation, Charlie interjected. The observer changes what is being observed simply by the act of observing it. Charlie turned to Ben, who was quieter than usual. Your intention passcode worked well today, Ben. Ben shifted his gaze from inner space to Charlie's face. Yes. This is not the same Ben, Tara thought. Seems like he's grown up since we started this. Or maybe he's grown into somebody he didn't know he could be. How did you do it, Ben? Tara asked. The vibration of emotion, Ben replied. I'm not sure I understand, Tara frowned. Every human emotion vibrates at a particular rate. Patty showed me the research David Hawkins did. What an amazing man. His work explains why, when we move from lower vibrating emotions like fear to a higher vibrating emotion like anger, we feel better, physically and emotionally. Then, when we move up the emotional scale to acceptance, love, or joy, which have much higher vibrations, we feel better and better. Tara nodded. Yes, dense, heavy energy is toxic to humans. That's why when healers remove heavy energy, we call it hucha. People can feel the difference. They feel lighter, more peaceful, energized. Ben's brows quirked up. Really? I hadn't made that connection, but it makes sense. So how did you use this principle, Ben? Will wanted to know. Well, we're trying to protect the fairy from being misused by people with bad intentions, right? So their greed, lust for power, whatever is motivating the power grab is going to have a low vibration. I asked Leela. Leela? Yes, that's what I'm calling my Mo, Ben replied. He grinned at their surprise. I asked Leela to help me find a way to secure the fairy. I guess you could say she told me to raise my vibration as high as I could. She recorded that energy signature, and any energy signature that is lower will activate her protective side. So, I worked with feeling how grateful I am that I am not in this alone, how much it means to have you all working so hard on this with me, and especially how grateful I am to Lila for helping me recognize the impact of my choices. Ben sat back in his chair, his hands clasped behind his head, and waited. Gratitude. Of course, Will smiled. Congratulations, bro. You've learned what brings out either the wicked or the wonderful side of the Mo. Yep, Ben agreed. It's what you focus on, and trust me, I much prefer Lila's siren side to her giant lizard side. So, is Leela going to be guarding the fairy? Tara's brow creased as she waited for Ben's answer. He shook his head. No, Mo'us can't be every place or even multiple places at the same time. Lila is pretty much attached to me, kind of like a spirit guide. She just helped me lock in the high vibration passcode. Will grinned and gave Ben a wry look. Just? So your, personal Mo just helped you figure out how to protect the crystalline grid when she can't be around to do it? They all laughed. Will leaned forward and continued. Looks like whatever was blocking you before is gone now. Yeah, and I have a pretty good idea what the block was, Ben asserted. Oh? It was always about the vibration of the intention, Ben exclaimed. That red fox. I am sure he and Kachi set up a vibrational threshold that had to be met before anything would work. That was the key I had to find. Gratitude. The combination of acknowledgement, appreciation, and thanks. Too bad raising your vibration makes you function better in general. Tara's gentleness softened the sarcasm in her teasing. Who needs peace, creativity, joy, stuff like that in their lives? Ben grinned again. Yeah, then there's that.